In this edition of In the Loop, we're looking at the new Principle 12 Consumer Principle created by the FCA under the Consumer Duty. There are currently 11 high-level principles for business governing conduct of regulated firms, and 2 of these are going to be directly affected by the new principle. They are Principle 6, which is the customer's interest principle. This says that you need to pay due regard to the interest of your customers and to treat them fairly. And Principle 7, looking at communications with clients, saying that you need to have due regard to the information need of your clients and communicate information to them in a way which is clear, fair and not misleading. Now, risks are constantly arising from ever-changing marketplaces and evolving products and services, and the FCA are keen to address those risks, which is why they have implemented this new Principle 12. The aim of the principle is to underpin and help drive improvements in conduct and culture within firms in line with the FCA's expectations. The wording of the principle is that you must act to deliver good outcomes for retail customers. And although it specifically refers to retail customers, remember that commercial customers are in scope of the new duty and therefore this principle. The only exceptions are large, complex commercial risks and contracts of reinsurance. Principle 12 is setting out a much higher standard than Principle 6 and 7, and it reflects the proactive and positive approach that the FCA expects you to be taking in driving positive outcomes for your customers at all times. Now, where Principle 12 applies, Principles 6 and 7 are going to be disapplied. However, they're not being removed because they will still remain relevant in certain circumstances. For example, where existing handbook guidance uses phrases like, "In order to treat customers fairly, firms should." In circumstances like this, 6 and 7 apply as well as Principle 12. The new Principle 12 uses different language as well. Where currently Principle 6 uses the word fair, you need to treat your customers fairly, Principle 12 uses the word good rather than fair, making it clear that the new principle is setting a higher standard. The FCA have recognised that there's going to be significant overlap if you implement the new Consumer Duty with existing TCF requirements. So for clarity, they have said that when implementing the new duty, focus on the requirements of the new duty rather than existing TCF requirements. The duty is only going to require you to act in a way which could be reasonably expected of a prudent firm. And this is an objective standard of conduct that is being set by the FCA rather than defined by you. But the FCA do recognise that what is reasonable needs to be assessed on the facts of individual cases, so obviously you are going to need to exercise your own judgment. Because of this, the rules do consider possible factors that are going to influence what your decision is around something being reasonable, and therefore how you implement the duty on an ongoing basis. Factors which could impact on your decision as to what is reasonable will be the nature of the products and services that you're offering and the risks these pose to your customers, the characteristics of your retail customers, and your role in connection with the product and service and the distribution chain. As it currently stands, when the FCA are considering whether or not you have fallen short of their expectations, their judgment is going to be based on whether you have acted reasonably in the context of existing rules and guidance and the individual circumstances of each case. The duty isn't going to change that, but the judgment that they're going to make against you will be against a much higher standard. So that's a summary of the new Principle 12. As you continue to carry on implementing the duty, we suggest that you keep one question in mind, and that is, are you applying the same standards and capabilities of delivering good customer outcomes as you are to generating sales and revenue? As always, we're here to answer any questions. You can drop us a line, admin@drbcompliance.com, or pop along to our website, www.drbcompliance.com, and fill in a contact us form.